doing? I hope all of you are doing fine. Today we are going to talk about the business model adjustment on food and beverage industry after the COVID-19. And when we are talking about the business model, we are referring to the business model canvas, which is a tool to visualize your business idea on a paper.
I think that tool is actually very useful for businesses because it helps them to survive in situations, especially during this pandemic. Before the COVID-19, people had no problems with eating out because they had no reservations related to the virus.
True, people used to dine out with their friends and families to restaurants or to cafes, and they're more inclined to buy foods and drinks and by themselves and drink it on the spot, as they're doing it perhaps by hanging out in the mall, so they can drink it or eat it on the spot.
The last time I went out to hang out with my friends happened so long ago, and I think a lot of people are also restraining to do so, and shopping malls now are like ghost towns. No wonder the F&B industry is hit the worst in this pandemic.
I also heard about that. In fact, Surabaya's food and beverage industry had a 26% drop and Bali had an 18% drop. But it's still amazing to see how these businesses are still thriving despite of the challenges that they face.
Yes, food and beverage industry has to adjust their strategy, and I think there are a lot of the businesses that already implement the strategies, and one of the example is Sinfutang. Recently, they just released their DIY kit, Sinfutang DIY kit. Do you all guys familiar with that?
Yes, it was released around the first half of 2020, right? It was really famous at that time and pretty well known. So since we are going to talk about this deeper, let's move to the more comfortable spot. So previously, Sinfutang had only sold their signature boba drink in a cups, and I'm sure all of you are familiar with it.
Yes.
However, due to COVID, a lot of customers actually cannot drink the drink on the spot because they're staying at home. So Sinfutang came up with the idea to bring out the DIY kit. Yay! So there's a lot of variations that you can pick from, but we chose the DIY 4-cup boba with 2 liters of hometown fresh milk.
Yeah, and I think this DIY kit is just so amazing because it allows the customer who are staying at home to actually drink the Sinfutang's drink. And also, I think it's a value point from the company because it adds the fun value to create it, and also we can actually do it together with family or with friends, right?
So I think we can all agree that this is a very good business strategy. And we also have another strategy where businesses started offering more product sizes, especially for beverage brands. And let's take the example of the worldwide known brand, which is called Starbucks. So in this example, Starbucks usually only serve their 1-cup serving. This is their tall size, which consists of 335 milliliters, and it costs 51,000 rupias. However, instead of only offering this type of 1-cup serving, they now also offer this type of drink. This is the 1-liter package, and it costs only 100,000 rupias as compared to the small size, which costs 51,000 rupias. Of course, this is way much cheaper, and you're probably wondering why 1 liter, right? Not 2 liters, 5 liters, or perhaps 10 liters. Because 1 liter is the perfect size for 4 to 5 medium servings, which Starbucks feel is perfect for sharing with families and also friends. In addition, it's also made to order and freshly brewed.
When a brand releases this 1-liter packaging, it provides certain benefit for its customer because you can buy more with cheaper price. And when a customer who are addicted to buy this kind of stuff, they feel like you can get more stuff in less expensive prices. And you can enjoy this type of drink with your families when you are at home or when you are working from home and with your colleagues at work. And with this type of drink, the company can reach out a bigger market size. And for instance, when you buy this type of drink, you can also give it to your friend as gift giving.
Yes, and not only that, actually there are some brands that create a new product packaging to complement the existing one. For example, is Chatime. Well, we know that Chatime have the original packaging that's similar to the other brands like Kokumi, Tiger Sugar, and many more. But Chatime recently created a very cute package that you should see. It's named the Chatime Pop Can. So they specially design it and they call it as that time good to go. And the difference between the design is actually the materials. This is the slash glass materials and also the lid, and which similar to the soft drinks lid.
Why do these brands release these strategies? Well, do you guys remember that time in the beginning of lockdown where everyone was making dalgona coffee? Like that time where they had literally nothing to do and they actually tried making boba from scratch. Well, if Singfutang actually let that continue, then their sales would drop even further. And Singfutang simply just made make use of the interest of in DIY, and they also uh, released the DIY kit.
I think they were right to release this product earlier because now other brands cannot capitalize the idea as well as Infotang because they won't be as original as Infotang. And also other brand that released the 1 liter packaging and the can packaging also released it in the right time because now people started to going out again, but they were still cautious about the condition, right? And these options allowed them to try or tasting the product with less price, and also they can bring it home and store it for another day.
Actually, drink brands are not the only ones that are successful with their strategies against COVID. There are also various food brands that have brilliantly shifted their strategies during COVID-19.
Really, the only one I've heard of is only Pizza Hut and not really much of the others.
Wait, Laura, but I think there is another strategy. The strategy is more to the frozen food package, if you ever heard about it. So actually, some restaurants are already trying to launch it. The example is Ayat Ablun in the Java Paragon Hotel, who is well known for its dim sum. Nowadays, they start to sell their frozen version of its dim sum actually.
I also heard about the SLR 777. Now they are trying to sell their frozen food such as meatballs, otak-otak, and mie ayam. And due to the COVID-19, SLR usually open their store and serve their customer regularly. But now they decided to close their store and focus more on selling its frozen food.
Yes, the frozen fruit product is the champion in Indonesians' heart during the pandemic because actually it allows the customer to keep their taste buds pampered without having much hassle. So that's why frozen food is actually the champion for Indonesians during pandemic.
It can also be applied for B2B sales actually. I mean, so these businesses can then sell their products, for example, food, to other businesses where these businesses can then sell the products under their own brand. This is also commonly known as white label.
Well, there is a brand. This brand is actually recent in Indonesia and it's very well known. The Sei Meat. Actually, the Sei Meat came from Nusa Tenggara Timur or East Nusa Tenggara. Well, actually, there is one seller who sell this product to multiple sellers, and if you really pay attention, they have a very similar flavor. And not only that, they also give the right to the another seller to package it under their brands.
Yeah, this is such an amazing strategy. But the one that I heard from Pizza Hut is actually they released the Fantastic Box, which is a 4 personal pan pizza like this. And this is, of course, different from the regular and the large size pizza.
Actually, this is smaller than I thought, and compared to their regular size, it is much smaller.
Yeah, but with this size, the consumers are encouraged to actually have it as their meal while doing their activities, and it also helps them to not share because during the pandemic it's so unhygienic to share your food, right?
Long story short, the food and beverage industry may be the ones that get the most short end of the stick during this COVID-19. However, I must say that these brands the brands that we mentioned earlier, have done really well in terms of coping against COVID-19. So what do you guys think of these strategies? And do you think that they will keep on continuing even after the pandemic ends?
I feel like, of course, they will, and I'm sure that the golden age of delivery will come soon. And you can see nowadays many companies are listing their companies on online platform, as well as remodeling their business model into cloud kitchen model. And nowadays people are concerning on hygiene and food safety, and I'm sure that in the next new normal, food safety and hygiene are become an important elements for both customer and packaging.
That's absolutely for sure. We can already see it in the previous example, which is the Chat Time Pop Can, and also the Pizza Fantastic Box.
And aside from that, the demand for the frozen food will definitely increase. The reason is because, as we can see, the trend from the restaurant, the Ayat restaurant, and also the SLR 77, which currently start to sell their frozen food. And not only that, with the increase from the e-commerce like Shopee, Tokopedia, and many more, it will encourage more businesses, more specifically the food industry, to sell their frozen product, because actually it can reach bigger market, because they can sell it to the other city or even other region, even after the pandemic ends.
And digitization is also something that we should take note on, because during this pandemic era, digitization will move very rapidly, and of course food and beverage businesses will also have to keep up with this. This includes small businesses, big businesses, even the food and beverage businesses that are small ones on the streets. And of course this also means that they will have to perhaps start looking for ingredients online, and it might even be a new experience for some of these businesses. And they will also have to prepare, for example, cashless payment methods, and including digitizing their inventory systems as well.
This may even lead to new food tech unicorns. As successful businesses grow out and they actually shift the culture and environment in the food industry, they actually change, the COVID-19 will actually bring great transformation. Healthier food, more reliable and more hygienic food will come as more innovative businesses or companies will be built in the next few years.
So that marks the end of our discussion for today's video. So in total, we have already discussed 3 main points. The first one is more regarding the concerning situation of the food and beverage industry, and second one is regarding the examples of the strategies that the food and beverage industries have already done, and last but not least is the predictions for the future of the food and beverage industry.
And I think this is the end of our discussion. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, just comment down below and we will try to answer your questions as soon as possible.
And don't forget to like and subscribe our video, and see you around.
Bye bye.
Bye.